Here is why Melissa Vargas and Turkey are going to be the dark horses of the VNL this summer. If you were to ask me who is the most dangerous team in women's volleyball right now, it's got to be Turkey. And I'm going to tell you exactly why this team deserves your full attention at the VNL this summer. It's their track record, it's their star players that could make your jaw drop, and it's some crucial matchups that could define the entire tournament. So let's get into it. Let's start with a little bit of context. This Turkish team has gone from an emerging force to an absolute powerhouse in the span of like 3 or 4 years. And here's the proof. They're currently ranked number 3 in the world. At the World Championships in Thailand last summer, they took home a silver medal, losing just to Italy in the final. In the VNL last summer, they got kicked out in the quarterfinals. In the Paris Olympics, they were 4th. They just missed out on a bronze medal to Brazil. But 2023 is where they really jumped onto the stage and we really started paying attention. Gold medal in the VNL in 2023. That was their first ever gold medal. And a gold medal in the CEV European Championships. Again, their first European Championship medal. That was pretty much a historic, let's say, perfect season. Turkey were the first at that time women's national team to ever win 22 matches in a row consecutively, according to my notes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. Of course, Italy came along and just smashed that record last summer because that's just what Italy have been doing to everybody all of the time recently. Taking no prisoners. But at that time in 2023, Turkey swept the VNL all the way to the finals phase, swept the European Championships and the Olympic qualification round. So they were elite, let's say. It was one of the greatest runs in the history of the sport. But the 2024 Olympics and the VNL 2025 showed that there is still a lot of work to be done. But this is a team that knows how to get it done. And they have some unfinished business, I feel like. So let's get into some of the players to watch. I don't think you're going to be surprised with who we're starting with. Melissa Vargas, she's the opposite. She's the star of this team. She's 26 years old, was born in Cuba, but is now a Turkish national and has been playing at Fenerbahce for 8 years. One of the most dominant opposites in the entire world of volleyball. Come at me if you think I'm lying. I mean, it's hard to argue. She's tall, she's explosive, and she is absolutely relentless from the end line. At that VNL 2023, where Turkey won gold, she was named MVP and best opposite and best server. Then in the European Champs 2023, again, MVP, best opposite. And then again last summer in the World Champs, best opposite. That's 3 major tournaments in 3 years where she's named either best opposite or MVP or both. You can't really argue with that. This year with Fenerbahce in the Turkish league, she was the 4th top scorer in the entire league. She's the motor of this team, and basically whenever Vargas is on, the entire rest of the team is almost unbeatable, I would venture to say. There you go, I said it. I'll say whatever I want, okay? I say what I want, and that's what I say. Before I get into the next player to watch, I highly recommend that you give this video a little thumbs up or a like so that the algorithm basically knows what you like and it'll send you some more videos like this, if that's what you want. Not telling you what to do with your life. I am saying that there's going to be a lot of volleyball happening this summer, lots of videos coming out, and if you like it, if you like this kind of video, we've got more coming your way. Yes. I'm also going to be at every single week of the VNL. Not every location, obviously, because I can't be at 3 places at one time, but I will be at every single week, and I'm going to be doing lots of content from location, boots on the ground, BTS, everything, any and all things, obviously the commentary as well, but it's all going to be put on the webs, on the interwebs for you if you're interested in watching it. If you subscribe, then you'll be the first to find out about any giveaways we do. And if you head over to Instagram or TikTok, that's where we do a lot of BTS, players with interviews, day in the life, that kind of thing, if you're into that. And the Volleyverse Hub is up and running if you want to vote on any of your favorite players, MVPs, who you think's going to win some games, all that is happening. So that'll be linked somewhere for you to see and click. Let's get back into it, shall we? Because middle blocker is up next, Zehra Güneş. I think you know the name. She's one of the most famous players in the world. 26 years old. She's been playing for Bank for the best part of a decade. One of the most technically sound middle blockers in the game. She was named best middle blocker at the Under 18 World Championships back in 2015, and she's been earning that accolade left and right in tournaments ever since. Most recently at the Champions League final, where she and Vakifbank took that gold medal. And if you haven't seen that semi-final match, Vakifbank Conegliano, go back and watch it, because it was one of the best matches I've ever called in my life, and one of the best matches of the entire year. It was elite. You won't regret it.
Gabby again, third match point. Vakifbank looking to get back. There might be a lift. There is no lift taken. This is a chance to get back to 2. Vakifbank is struggling to close this out. They might have a chance now. Boskovic hasn't had a turn. She now has a turn. There's a net touch. Vakifbank Istanbul produce one of the greatest comebacks.
Another player that I really enjoy watching is Ebrar Karakurt. She's an outside hitter / opposite. She started as an opposite, but because Melissa Vargas is on her team, she now plays on the outside, as you can imagine. She plays for Zajabashi, and she's nicknamed the Black Wolf, not only because I think her last name means Black Wolf, but also because she has a tattoo, I think it's on her neck, of a black wolf. And also, from my perspective, she also cheers a little bit like a black wolf. You know, she's like howling at the moon sometimes when she, when she gets it. You know what I'm saying? She's an extremely explosive player. That outside opposite role she can play gives Santarelli some tactical options, let's say. Against Brazil at the VNL in 2025, she scored 17 points and almost single-handedly kept them in the fight in that second set. Two-time Olympian, Tokyo and Paris, and she is one of the most fearless and exciting players to watch. In the setting position, you have Jansu. 29 years old, she's orchestrating the entire offense. She's been with Vakifbank for about a decade, and she's one of the most decorated setters in, for sure, all of Turkey, but maybe even in the world. She won MVP of the finals in the Turkish league this season as a setter. She's been working on her long distance setting, and she's really good at finding the right player at the right time, whether it be Karakurt, Vargas, Baladin, Güneş. She's really good decision-making as a setter. She'll also add a little bit of tempo to the pins. Of course, she's got the high ball behind, but super deceptive, and one of the reasons that Turkey are really good. And finally, Hande Baladin on the outside. She currently plays for Fenerbahce, and she's one of the key pieces to this squad because she runs that fast pin to the outside. She's a little undersized, but she'll run that fast ball. Then also defensively and in reception, she's extremely reliable. She popped off against Poland last summer with 22 points in the VNL, even if she typically plays a more supportive role to Karakurt and Vargas doing most of the point scoring. One thing to note is she did get injured in, I think it was week 2 of the VNL last summer with a strained thigh or something like that. So she didn't play towards the end. But when she is healthy, she's giving Turkey that sort of 1-2-3 punch, that 3-pronged offense that makes them so dangerous. And now we get to the part where I'm going to tell you what matches you should watch. Put them in your calendar because they're going to be good. First matchup is Turkey-Italy. That's happening in week 1, June 6th in Brasilia. This is a rematch of the 2025 World Champs final where Italy beat Turkey. Italy go on to win gold in Bangkok. But now they're facing each other in week 1 of the VNL. Italy, of course, I'm sure you know, are the reigning Olympic, VNL, and world champions. But we don't know if they're going to bring their whole strong roster from week 1. So this could be a huge opportunity for Turkey to get a win under their belt and get themselves one step closer to the final all the way in week 1 before we even get to week 4. Turkey is already going to be looking for a little bit of revenge, but also keep in mind there are some Italian players playing in the Turkish league, Oro, Silla, so there's that little friends to frenemies, teammates to frenemies storyline going on as well. We love a bit of drama. Match number 2 is Turkey and Poland. That's happening in July 7th in Osaka, Japan. Remember, Poland are one of Turkey's fieriest rivals. They had that 5-set thriller in week 1 of the VNL last summer, and Poland went on to get a bronze medal in the competition. So it might have left Turkey with a little chip right there on their shoulder. And the third match I'm excited about is Turkey-Japan in Osaka, Japan, again in week 3, July 11th. This one's happening. It's a rematch of the 2025 VNL quarterfinal. Japan knocked Turkey out of the competition there. Now they're facing each other in week 3 in Japan, in front of Japan's home crowd, which is going to be absolutely bonkers. And Turkey are going to want a little bit of revenge, I feel. While Japan are probably going to want to prove that that quarterfinal was not a fluke. This one just has grudge match written all over it. Turkey, for me, are the team with the biggest score to settle this summer. They had that excellent run back in 2023, and since then they've been trying to get back to that level. They've been to a World Championships final. They were one match away from a medal in the Olympics. And last summer, they fell just short at the quarterfinals. But with Melissa Vargas, if she's fit and if she plays, she's arguably one of the best opposites in the world right now, if not the. You also have Zehra Güneş, who's the world's sweetheart and absolute dominant force at the net. Ebrar Karakurt going strong as per usual with all the fieriness in the world. Fieriness, firepower, you know what I mean. I mean, this is a squad that could beat anyone on any given day. The storylines are there, the talent is there. And what's wild is that Turkey don't even have to face Brazil in the pool play of the entire tournament. So they have a pretty strong chance of making it all the way to the finals. And once you're in the finals, anything is possible. Turkey are my dark horses of this competition because they're going to be impossible to ignore. And if you're not already a Melissa Vargas fan, I have a feeling after this summer, you probably will be. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Autofocus, autofocus. I gotta just I'll be testing it. Okay. I'm tired. Get in there, get in there, get in there, get it done. Ugh, why can't I talk today? What was I gonna say? This is and last summer, I'm so tired.